Hello again, and this is the Gerrard Barlow. You might remember in the previous video I did, that I was speaking about autumn, Halloween, and the idea that this time of the year you begin to experience reality in a different way. Well, I also spoke in that video about how at this time of the year the sky seems to come closer to you, as if the world is cocooning you, closing you in, but you become more introspective. We go into a kind of journey of self-introspection and interior reflection. I can't help but bring to your attention the fact that I found myself, as if through fate, one might say, finding myself here in Venice, of all places, on Halloween, on a full moon, on a rather foggy night. And it's really strange for me personally. I can't help but have to recount this tale to you. But ever since I've been a small child, 6 years old, I used to have recurring dreams about what I understand to be this exact place. But it's only right now, this very evening, as I say, that it seems like fate has brought me to this very place. On this night of all night, with all of those cosmological influences in place, and it being All Hallows Eve. Everything around me, I have to say, the smells in the air, the sounds that I hear around me, the way things look, the views of some of the streets, the tiny narrow streets filled with water. It's exactly what I was seeing when I was very, very young, in this recurring dream. Even the feeling of the place seems to viscerally pulse through my body. I can feel myself, my whole body vibrating while I'm sitting here right now. On that note, I also must say that when one is engaged with certain types of meditative exercises and purifications, that gradually one's sensitivity to these subtle energies which exist in sacred sites or in certain locations that are special in some way, the more you begin to open up to that world of sensation, the more you can feel the shifts in vibrations. Let me tell you a little tale which is also associated with this very place I find myself in today. And I told you I was having these dreams when I was very young. About 15 years ago, I had been attending and helping with a workshop which was put on in London. And unfortunately I can't remember the name of the man, but he was an Indian doctor who lived in New York, and he came over to London to put on a 3-day puja and teach a workshop on Tantra, and he was the last in a specific lineage of Tantra from India. At the end of this workshop, to thank me for my involvement, he put on a rice reading. I didn't know anything about this particular method, but he decided to throw some rice on the ground and, in seclusion, just alone with him, he and I, He stared into my eyes without stop for about 10 minutes or so, and then gradually started to tell me what he was perceiving. And oddly, he told me that in the 1700s, around about that time, I lived in northern Italy in a previous incarnation, and that I had been involved in such pursuits as alchemy and these types of subjects. For those who know me, the subject of alchemy is very dear to me. And so it was very strange to actually get this message from this Indian man who told me that I'd indeed lived here. So it was as if he could see into my dream world, and he noticed that these recurring dreams that I'd been having since I was a child, he brought it up in the reading and told me that I'd been having these dreams. I said nothing of the sort to him, but I'd been having these dreams since I was very young, because it connected to an incarnation. So I don't know how many of you believe in this thing. I'm just bringing up the subject. It's an interesting subject. Halloween is a time of introspection, and it's a time to seriously ask oneself if the dreams that one have been having. Halloween is, in a sense, the hallowed place, the covered place, the hidden place. And that hidden place is within you. And this is an opportunity, this time of year, to enter into that place and seriously ask yourself about significant dreams that you may have had throughout your life. And to ask yourself the question, how many dreams that you've had in your life are really dreams, or whether they are something other. I need to tell you this because for me personally, maybe about every 6-7 years apart, I might have just one or maybe a cluster of dreams that are very, very powerful, that have significance and messages inside them that, although I can't work them out at the time I'm having the dream, they may deliver very, very important answers even years after having the dream. So I don't know how many of you listening to this may have had similar experiences. Certainly I'd be interested in knowing of them in the comments section below the video if you wish to share. But what I want to tell you is the fact that sometimes these dreams can be more than just dreams. Sometimes these dreams can be signposts. Maybe they're ripples or echoes from previous times. Maybe they are ways of orienting your direction into life. And certainly for me personally, these things have been this. They've been signposts to move me in a certain direction. I mentioned fate before, and I find myself here in Venice, in northern Italy, on this special night. And it's incredible to think it's incredible to be here. And I wonder, realize that sometimes dreams are more than just throwaway dreams. Sometimes they're trying to tell you something very significant about your purpose and your destiny in life. The psychologist Carl Jung, who was also very interested in alchemy, was somebody who used dreams a lot in his work. And he was very keen on using the symbolism of alchemy within those dreams to help to understand what he called the individuation process of the person becoming truly, recognizing truly who they are. So using dreams as a mirror. I'm talking about something similar. But when I speak about alchemy, a subject very dear to me, I'm not speaking of it just in the purely psychological sense, although that plays a great part. I had to make this video because here I am in this incredible place. And I'm a bit bowled over by it all, to be honest. Through your work, through your meditations, through the work that I hope I can lead you into myself, you'll gain more and more of a subtle connection to these special energies that you find in certain sacred places. And through your dreams, understand your direction. So, I'm just thinking now of a certain alchemist that I met, again, about 15 years ago in Prague. Unfortunately, a very lovely chap, he died about 10 months ago. And he told me that all alchemy, to be real, has to be visceral. There has to be a visceral reaction for you to be able to take notice of, for the process to be valid. So, like I say, in sacred sites, in certain places, you can pay attention to the feelings that are evoked in these places, the feelings that arise within you in these places. The best way is to begin through the meditative process, because that way you can become more and more present to the body, more and more aware of the processes which are taking place within the body and around the body. And through that, you can gradually open up greater and greater levels of sensitivity for higher works. So, anyway, I've probably spoken enough today, and I would like to thank you all very much for listening this far. And I look forward to leading you into further contemplations and further practices in the future. So, thank you very much for listening, and I'll speak to you again soon.